Hello everyone. This channel provides the latest information on the Three Gorges Dam. If you are interested, please subscribe to our channel. Everyone loves the Three Gorges Dam. As of midnight on January 23 local time in China, the water level at the Three Gorges Dam was 169.89 meters. This is a drop of 53 centimeters compared to the water level on the 17th of this month. The dam's water level has been gradually dropping this month, but the pace has slowed. When viewing the dam from upstream, the water level is likely to be around the line indicated. As of 9 a.m. yesterday, the flow rate at the upstream observation station was 7,410 cubic meters per second, and the inflow to the Three Gorges Dam was 8,000 cubic meters per second. This means that the total value from the area around the dam and from the tributaries is 590 cubic meters per second. Compared to the 17th of this month, the flow rate at both the upstream observation station and the dam has increased. As of midnight, the dam's total discharge was 7,930 cubic meters per second. The dam's total hydroelectric discharge is 31,000 cubic meters per second. If I do a simple calculation, I'd say that the Three Gorges Dam is generating just over 20% of its power, with 8 hydroelectric turbines in operation. However, since this is related to the potential energy caused by the water level, I don't know the exact number in operation. Compared to the 17th of this month, they have made almost no changes to the discharge.
NISHIYAN channel.
Let's take a look at the latest data on the Three Gorges Dam released by China's Hunan Provincial Hydrological Bureau. There have been no particular changes to the discharge volume, shown in black, in terms of operation in line with electricity demand. The inflow volume, shown in green, has recently been on a slight upward trend. The observation station upstream in Chongqing has remained stable, albeit with some fluctuations. The water level of the Three Gorges Dam had been on a downward trend until now, but with the discharge volume remaining the same and the inflow volume increasing slightly, there has been little change. Dams generally face the unavoidable problem of sediment accumulation. This is not unique to the Three Gorges Dam. It is a common issue for all dams. When a dam is built, the river's flow slows, and the sand and soil carried there sinks, gradually raising the lake bottom. Furthermore, since sediment no longer flows downstream, the riverbed, that is, the river bottom, will drop, adversely affecting the ecosystem. Prior to the construction of the Three Gorges Dam, the Chinese Communist Party reportedly used the following explanation for the sediment problem in its propaganda campaign. Let's take a look at each of these explanations. First, they particularly emphasized the promotion of reforestation. The idea was to prevent sediment and water runoff through uncontrolled deforestation. However, it is still unclear to what extent reforestation efforts have restored the forests that have already been lost. Next, there is the construction of dams in upstream areas. In terms of securing clean energy and meeting growing electricity demand, the construction of numerous dams may, in a sense, be proceeding as planned. However, questions remain about the extent of this effect. Building dams one after another on the main river will further slow the river's flow. This, in turn, will lead to further sediment accumulation. The third is accumulating clean water and discharging mud. As the characters suggest, this means storing clean water and flushing out muddy water and sediment. This operational principle involves storing relatively clear water during dry periods to use for power generation and water supply, and releasing large amounts of muddy water downstream during flood periods to prevent silt from building up in the dam reservoir. This phrase seems to have been coined to prevent the dam's functionality from being reduced by sedimentation, but while it does wash away sediment contained in the water, it's hard to imagine that the sediment that has settled at the bottom of the dam reservoir will be dramatically pushed downstream. Furthermore, the dam reservoir is 600 kilometers long, so it's unlikely to have any effect on the sediment that has accumulated upstream. Finally, there's dredging work. When live cameras were available online, I couldn't see any signs of large machinery being used to dig up the bottom of the Three Gorges Dam from the surveillance camera footage I saw around the dam. Is dredging really taking place? It's possible that work is taking place slightly upstream, out of the camera's view, but the exact nature of the work is unknown. A viewer reported that dredging is taking place in the river upstream near the major city of Chongqing. Since the waters are shallow upstream, they're likely removing sand to avoid interfering with ship navigation. While they're using various phrases like, "there's no problem," and "don't worry," the only visible evidence is the fact that dams are being built one after another upstream. Ultimately, I feel like they're merely postponing the problem. Unlike major floods, the sand problem doesn't pose any obvious risks. Because it's occurring silently, opportunities to notice the seriousness of the situation may be limited. I always use windy to report on the movement of rain clouds, but we've barely seen any significant rainfall this year. Looking back at last year, rainfall was below average until May, but significantly higher than average from June to October, except for July. Then, precipitation decreased again toward the end of the year, so overall, it seems fair to say the weather was extremely unbalanced. Ideally, moderate and steady rainfall is desirable, but sustained heavy rain increases the risk of flooding, while a lack of rain can cause various problems, including droughts affecting crops. As of yesterday, the cumulative precipitation for January around the Three Gorges Dam was just 5 millimeters. While January is typically a dry month, if this situation continues, they may be waiting for rain until early spring. From a dam operation perspective, this will likely mean they will have no choice but to further increase discharges to support water-stressed areas downstream. We've previously reported that the Three Gorges Dam is equipped with one of the world's largest power generation facilities, but what about its actual power generation performance? Since the first turbine began commercial power generation in 2003, the number of operational turbines has gradually increased, and all 32 turbines were operational in 2012. News reports at the time stated that the power generation that year was 98.1 billion kilowatt-hours. In 2018, the annual power generation reached the monumental milestone of 100 billion kilowatt-hours. Chinese official media reported the achievement down to the second, 8 hours 25 minutes and 21 seconds AM on December 21, 2018. It must have been incredibly exciting for them, as they felt like they'd reached the moon. While this is exciting news, if you think about it carefully, it reveals that it took 6 years, since 2012, to reach 100 billion kilowatt-hours. Furthermore, they proudly proclaim that in 2020 annual power generation reached a world record of 103,898 million kilowatt-hours. As many of you may remember, that year was a year of repeated major floods, so there was an abundance of water. However, come 2022, the situation will change completely. The annual power generation figure that they have proudly reported until now will disappear from their articles. Instead, they have brought up the cumulative power generation over the past 20 years, successfully shifting the focus of the argument. It is their usual tactic to announce cumulative figures when the situation becomes inconvenient. As you can see from the graph, output from 2022 to 2024 will plummet to 2008 levels. Unlike in the past, all 32 turbines are now in operation, but for some reason, output is not increasing. Could this be due to aging equipment, or perhaps turbines have been replaced during maintenance or control systems have been updated? The authorities will likely claim that the main cause is the continued drought, which has meant less water available for power generation. However, as this marks the third consecutive year of decline, this result leaves considerable room for doubt. Then, after the new year, the authorities announced the actual figure for 2025, which was 90.5 billion kilowatt-hours. The numbers seem to have improved considerably. As we always report on this channel, output is 20 to 30% higher during the night, so I think many people viewed the announced figures with skepticism, wondering whether they were accurate. There are differing views on the reliability of the figures released by China, so for now, let's view this graph with a skeptical eye. Next is the windy weather forecast, showing actual data for the next 12 hours. This shows the situation up to noon yesterday. The rain clouds moved downstream of the dam, and it was mostly sunny or cloudy after that. Looking at the data from the observation station, It appears that about 4 millimeters of rain has fallen over the past few days, which will be the first rainfall locally since the 3rd of this month. However, this is still on the light side. The Three Gorges Dam was built in the middle of the Yangtze River at a huge investment. Its three functions are flood control, hydroelectric power generation, and shipping. However, due to decreased rainfall in recent years, it is no longer fully fulfilling its hydroelectric power generation role. Meanwhile, issues remain, including the accumulation of sand in the dam's reservoir, its impact on fish and other ecosystems, water pollution and other environmental destruction, cracks in the concrete, and waste issues. China's official media only emphasizes the dam's positive aspects. They claim that the dam's optimal water levels, considering hydroelectric power generation, shipping operations, and flooding, ensure safety and security, but I've always had doubts about this as I make this video. According to our channel's research, the area covered by the Three Gorges Dam is the area indicated by the green line. Next, let's check the forecast for the future. Rain clouds will pass by several times along the way, but it is unlikely to rain heavily. Today's weather forecast for the Three Gorges Dam is sunny, with a maximum temperature of 17 degrees Celsius and a minimum temperature of 14 degrees Celsius. 2 days ago, temperatures were expected to drop below freezing, but this time it looks like the temperature will rise suddenly, and there seem to be large fluctuations in temperatures locally. Rain clouds may appear over a wide area by the end of the month. Construction of China's Three Gorges Dam began in 1993 and was completed in 2009. It is known as one of the largest dams in the world. The dam was built primarily for flood control, power supply, and water transportation. The Three Gorges Dam, the world's largest, has a generating capacity of 22.5 million kilowatts, making it a significant contribution to China's energy supply. However, the dam has many issues, and the possibility of a dam collapse during flood seasons is often discussed, causing concern for many people. Did you know that the dam is equipped with a ship lift for medium and small-sized vessels? In addition to large ships of 10,000 tons, the Three Gorges Dam also has a route that allows medium and small-sized vessels to pass through. This facility is located just north of the dam's embankment, and is shown in the photo that is always shown when reporting water levels, and the caption reads, "We estimate the water level to be up to this level." It operates like an elevator, where a ship enters the gate and ascends and descends. While a 5-stage lock takes nearly 3 hours to pass through, the ship lift takes less time, taking just 40 minutes to ascend and descend. Official media has reported that the amount of cargo passing through the Three Gorges Dam is increasing year by year, and that the ship locks and ship lifts are becoming overcrowded. They may look small in photographs, but when you see a ship passing through them, you realize how massive they are. Even fairly large vessels can pass through, such as transport ships carrying large quantities of finished automobiles. This is a video that summarizes information about the Three Gorges Dam, and is a popular video that has been viewed more than 150,000 times. The URL is posted in the summary column, so please enjoy it. The dry season will continue in China's Yangtze River basin until June this year, meaning there will be few rainfalls. A few years ago, heavy rains and flooding caused many rivers to overflow, and the sheer volume of water inflow raised concerns that dams might collapse. Last year, data confirmed this extreme weather, with little rain in the first half of the year and more rain than average during the flood season. The Chinese people are faced with a difficult situation, with abnormal weather conditions such as floods and droughts alternating every year. With winter now in full swing, rainfall is expected to decrease until spring, with only 5 millimeters of rainfall observed so far this month. We will continue to provide the latest data-driven updates, so please subscribe to our channel.